name is Daro Weilberg, and I am a Jehovah's Witness in good standing. Or if you prefer, I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Either.
Okay, every time he does one of these videos, he always goes through this garbage at the beginning and explains how he doesn't work for the Watchtower or the governing body, or he works for Jesus, and he always says, and has done for maybe 3 years, since Veronica Vanderkolk pulled him up on his terminology and his incorrect grammar when it comes to referring, when Jehovah's Witnesses refer to themselves. So he says, I am a Jehovah's Witness in good standing. Oh, and you can also call me one of Jehovah's Witnesses. That also would be quite acceptable. It's because he knows, and he really didn't like it. They had a debate, him and Veronica Vanderkolk had a debate about this, and of course she quite calmly won the debate, and that's why he sort of subdues himself to saying this every time he makes a video now. It's semantics a little bit, but it's basically proper grammar. And I'm a Jehovah's Witness does not make sense. It's made sense to Jehovah's Witnesses over the years and their time being brainwashed, listening to that terminology all the time. I'm a Jehovah's Witness, but it doesn't make sense. If you hear worldly people, quite often what they will say is they'll refer to, oh, that's a Jehovah Witness, or they're Jehovah Witnesses, or even a grammatically correct, professional, trained news reader will refer to them as the Jehovah Witness organisation. They actually, because that makes more sense. For the average Jehovah's Witness, I'm a Jehovah Witness doesn't sit right. But for the world and the people who are trained in speaking properly, it makes perfect sense to them. It rings true for them, because I am a Jehovah Witness. I've witnessed Jehovah. I haven't witnessed Jehovah's, many of them. So you could do a number of things here. You could leave the A out and say, I'm Jehovah's Witness. But then that would sort of infer that you are specifically Jehovah's only witness. So what sounds better and more grammatically correct is the way it's used by the people in the Jehovah's Witnesses, like elders and circuit and district overseers and the governing body, and all their literature refer to themselves as, I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses, rather than I am a Jehovah's Witness. I'm one of them, or we are many Jehovah's Witnesses, or we're two of Jehovah's Witnesses. You don't see elders going to the door and knocking, and then the person comes to the door and the elder says, hi, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. They never say that. They say, hi, I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, or we're two of Jehovah's Witnesses. So he had an issue with this point, and it took him so long to finally subside and admit, and he hasn't still fully done it, because he doesn't see that I'm a Jehovah's Witness doesn't make sense. I'm a Jehovah Witness actually does, even though to me, being brought up as a witness, it sounds off, but it's not. I'm a witness of Jehovah, that one Jehovah, not Jehovah's. So you could say that, or you could just say, leave the A out. I'm Jehovah's Witness. but you're not really just his only witness. So you say, I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, or that's how they say it, that's how their publications say it, that's how this dickhead should say it, and not try to justify his incorrect terminology, because he likes to think that he's an elder. He likes to think that he's been trained as a speaker like elders are, and been schooled in proper grammar. He doesn't like to admit mistakes grammatically at all. So anyway, that's just a little bit of insight. Veronica Vanderkolk, good on you for that. You persisted, and you wore him down with facts and honesty, and he's still bothered by it to this day. Good on you. Let's continue.
Either statement is correct. Now, this video is not approved by the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania. It's not approved by the faithful slave, which we call the governing body.
So it's disapproved.
Those faithful members, men, loving and kind and generous. Those guys go out of their way to take care of
He's
Jehovah's.
nearly orgasming.
It's not approved by any local body of elders. I made this video, and I work for Jesus Christ, Matthew 10:23. You can look that up. Many of you apostates have problems with that. Now, my videos here are not for instruction videos to Jehovah's Witnesses. They're not for preaching the good news of the kingdom. No, I'm looking for the ones that strayed. See, Jesus left the 99 to look for the one. Well, I'm leaving the 999,000 and looking for the hundreds of thousands. I'm looking for any Jehovah's Witness that might have practiced and been disfellowshipped or disassociated, knows they did wrong, wants to return to Jehovah. I'm here to help.
So he's looking for people who have been disfellowshipped, have faded away, have left on their own accord, and he's there to help. Remember, he says this here.
And also, I would like to look at the inactive ones, the disassociated ones, and those that just studied once and then drifted away.
Even those ones.
Families.
Good
See,
guy.
Jehovah sees something in their hearts. Now, if they return to Jehovah, he welcomes them. If not, he didn't want them anyways. But you see, I don't judge, so I can't make that determination.
I don't
I have to
judge.
allow Jehovah to make
You
that
serious?
determination. Now, this video today is based on an idiot. His name is Mr. Jake Kreitz or Mr. Jake Vaughn. Now, this
Okay, so the title of the video is Another Apostate Bites the Dust as Exposed by the Holy Spirit. Now, when I first saw that title, I thought, here we go. He's finally going to talk about Lloyd Evans. And we're going to get an insight as to what he thinks about Lloyd's shenanigans. Because you know what? You'd think it'd be bait for him, the whole situation that's happened with Lloyd, but completely looked over it. Prefer to pick on people like AltWorldly, this Jake guy, and completely forget that Lloyd ever existed. Now that makes me a little sus, given the things that I've heard about Lloyd Evans' past and why he was actually removed as an elder from the congregation. Now, that's going to be touchy for this guy, because it's that whole thing is going to be touchy for this guy, because we're talking about an elder in disrepute here, possibly because of some I'm led to believe that it's at least something sexual that he was doing that led to him being disfellowshipped, whether it was with a young person or not, is not that important here in this situation. just that alone, the fact that the elder was disciplined and removed from the congregation because of that, I'm sure Daro knows about that sort of thing. And, you know, I'm not sure how he would go about addressing that whole situation, because he kind of has to back Lloyd in a way, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I digress.
Now this is the event, and I titled this another apostate
Okay,
bites the dust.
sorry, I did digress big time. So he titled this another one, apostate bites the dust. So I thought it was going to be about Lloyd. I saw it, John Palmer posted it on a Facebook channel, which is Lloyd Evans did nothing wrong in Thailand. It's quite a good channel, Facebook thing, and it's got some funny commentary. So yeah, I thought, oh great, it's about Lloyd. And no, sure enough, but it's about this other prominent YouTuber, Jake, AltWorldly. So you sort of discover that at the beginning of this video, and I thought, holy shit, another apostate bites the dust. AltWorldly, his channel's been pulled. He's removed his channel, which is an insanely good channel. What? But no, it turns out that another apostate bites the dust is basically just Daro responding to an email from Jake in a video. That's the extent of an apostate biting the dust. So calm down, don't get too excited.
And again, you never know who these apostates are because they're so afraid of using their real names.
Sean Conroy.
They hide behind this secrecy. I guess they think they're some sort of spies, or they all
007,
employ the
Sean Conroy.
same tactics with every attempt to discredit me. First of all, they pump me up with compliments. Yeah, they pump them. Oh yeah, we love the way you do this, the way you do that. And then, that's the flattery. And then, they try to go for the jugular. But they can't go against the message that I give. So what do? They attack my character. And this is a prime example
You have no
of
character,
one
mate.
idiot doing that. And they all have mom. And when I say mom is kind of a legal definition. It means opportunity and motive. And they all have the mean, they all have the opportunity, you two here, and they all have the motive. They're against Jehovah God. This is this moron, Mr. J. Kreitz or Bond, whatever he goes by today, who knows. Hi, Mr. Weilberg. I really admire you defending your faith in person on YouTube. As far as I know, you're the only Jehovah's Witness on the entire platform who does this. I have an XJW channel at Worldly, and I'd really like to engage in productive conversations with active witnesses to try and find some common ground. So I'd love to have you on the channel if you're interested. If it makes you feel more comfortable and want to be anonymous, we could even not show your face and alter your voice. All the spy stuff. The best. All the best, he says. And Jake Vaughn. Now he signs as Jake Vaughn. Now can you imagine that Mr. Apostate? Can you imagine that guy? Yeah, very foolish of him, of you to assume an apostate and a Jehovah's Witness in good standing could find any common ground unless they were standing on the same piece of ground.
Hey,
No wonder Jehovah labels the likes of Mr. Kreitz or Vaughn or whatever his name is.
The part I asked you to remember just a bit earlier was him saying that he's there to help the disfellowship, the ones that have faded away, the ones that have... Blah, blah, blah. This is typical doublespeak. So now he's saying that we can't even find common ground ever.
his ID, as being stupid over 100 times, or foolish in the King James Version. Foolish is synonymous with stupid.
You're synonymous with stupid.
All of the apostates that contact me seem to think they are the Oprahs and the Tuckers of the media of YouTube. They all have their show. They all have a show. You know, they'd love to have me on their show. Derek of London is another apostate.
Go, Derek
That
London.
has delusions of grandeur, like Mr. Kreitz and Mr. whatever. Yeah, I'm Oprah Winfrey. I'm this or that. Jesus just refers to all of the Mr. or Mrs. Kreitz or Vaughn or whatever apostates as a child of the poisonous snake. See, an offspring of vipers, the way Jesus put it. Now, Satan is that snake. Jesus also used the title of hypocrite to describe the likes of all those Mr. and Mrs. Kreitz Vaughns. And on occasion, Jesus referred to the Mr. and Mrs. Kreitz or Vaughn apostates all over the world as pigs or dogs. Yet Mr. Kreitz Vaughn takes offense when I call him names less offensive than what Jehovah and Jesus called him. I call them morons, idiots, and maybe a dipstick or one or two.
It's ironic, isn't it, really?
Now here's this idiot's full email here. It comes to me, and it's from this xjwfaq, all one word, @gmail.com. J. Kreitz. Hi, Mr. Weilberg. I really admire you defending your faith in person on YouTube. First of all, I don't defend this faith. I don't have to defend the faith. Although I'm boldly, I would defend it. I don't have any question answers here, so there's no way I have to defend it. And then he goes as far as he knows. I'm the only one on the entire platform who does this. And then he talks about his XJW channel and that he would like to have these active witnesses and try to find some common ground. First of all, Mr. Kreitz, you moron, there is no common ground between a disfellowshipped as yourself and a inactive or a active witness. There's no common ground there.
Well, you're here to help them.
And, you know, I feel comfortable as who I am. I'm not like you idiots. See, I don't have to hide behind some made-up ID. I come out as Daro Weilberg.
The guy's telling you his name.
You know, he tries
Jake
to assure me
Krause
he
or
wants to
whatever it
protect
is.
me. He wants to make me feel comfortable while he
Guy's
pulls
such
his
a
tactics
wanker.
out of Satan's handbook. He wants to engage in productive conversations with active witnesses. Now, he lied when he said he would be willing to
18
make
minutes.
whatever accommodations necessary to make me comfortable. You see, Mr. Kreitz sounds just like his daddy Satan. Satan wanted to make Eve comfortable, so he deceived poor Eve.
Oh, who else is that? I know televangelists use that terminology, daddy Satan, but it's, somebody else just recently used it. I'm just trying to think of it. Like, it's not the sort of thing that Jehovah's Witnesses typically say to people, even though they might think that. Your daddy Satan? Oh, I just can't think of who it was. Anyway, I'll remember.
Even putting Eve's own selfish desires above the instructions they received from Jehovah. And Mr. Kreitz refused to come to my Pal Talk channel. So I write Mr. Kreitz back. Hello, Mr. Kreitz. Why? I waited about a month. And I wrote him back. It's been just over a month since you tried to hoodwink me into appearing on your apostate channel to debate you. Did you find that Jehovah's Witness that would debate you? There's scripture that says we don't debate. 1 Timothy. Of course not. You have been kicked out of the truth for just over a year and you've forgotten that much of the truth already?
I've seen a few
Jehovah's
flat Earth
Witnesses
debates
and will give you a platform to
with
spread your positive
scientists,
lies, Mr. Christ, nor would they go to your platform.
and it'd be like
You
debating one of
obviously didn't
those
pay much attention
with this
when you
guy.
were
Probably
close.
worse.
You were never really in the truth, probably. I don't know for a fact, but maybe you might have been. And you were just close to it. And being baptized does not mean you were a Jehovah's Witness. See, Judas Iscariot wasn't in the truth either when he gave in to Satan's temptations. And look at his final act of selfishness. He killed himself. See, he was in the truth at the beginning. When Jehovah chose him to be one of the apostles, of course he was truth.
Oh yeah, it was. Sorry, I want you to. It's boring as fuck, but anyway, he's going to talk about some shit in a moment, which just shows how much of a sick fuck this guy really is. How disturbed he really is. It was a debate between this this black American guy who's quite prominent on YouTube. He's actually completely against the idea that racism existed in America. Professor or reverend or something. Black guy, quite charismatic, really lazy kind of R's when he talks to you like that. And he was debating Professor Dave, really smart cookie. And, because he was being destroyed, of course, he just referred to that, your daddy, and he was saying it so fast and talking about your daddy, the devil and stuff, and like Professor Dave couldn't get his head around it. Why do you keep referring to my dad? And in the end he got it. So it's just one of those really silly terms that people use as an insult. Yeah, more than anything, because they lack the mental horsepower to actually conduct or enter into a discussion that leads to a point of sensibility,
Guiding to him somehow. I noticed you never showed up on Pal Talk, I tell him, or you came in under secrecy and the Holy Spirit made you out to be the foolish liar you became. The door is open and the light is on. It's still on. Mr. Christ, jw.org, library, books and brochures. Look for the return to Jehovah. I pray, Mr. Christ.
But aren't you there to help?
Have small children when that great day of Jehovah God comes about.
Here we go.
If you do not return, you will watch those children die violently at Armageddon, just before you die violently. You will know, Mr. Christ, that the executioner of your bad seeds, if you do not return, and that your executioner is Jehovah God. That may just be the last thought that crosses your mind, sir. Wow.
You sick
My
fuck.
parents and Daro Weilberg were right all along. It will be too late for you and your offspring. You're going to watch them die. They did in the flood. Do you think when the flood came about, Mr. Christ, that the parents didn't watch the children drown before they themselves drowned? Oh.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Crying out, Mommy, Dad. Oh yeah, that happened during the flood. And what about Sodom and Gomorrah? I said, Dad, you can hear the son or the daughter crying out, Mommy, Dad. Oh yeah, that happened during the flood. And what about Sodom and Gomorrah? The same thing.
He's relishing in this idea
First the children and then
of children
they both have to blame themselves for murdering
being
children.
wiped out.
A lot of it
Justifiably, by God.
Wanting them violently dead. Well, now, if that were the case, I would not be warning them of that outcome in this video and other videos similar to this. If you believe the flood account and that children died violently in the flood, of the children of Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed violently, well, some of the parents lost, then you will accept my attempt to save your life as an attempt to assure you that you don't want to see your children die violently.
Fuck me drunk.
Just think, Mr. Christ, did the parents of the children that died violently in the flood, or those that died violently in the flood, or those that died violently in Sodom and Gomorrah watch their children die before they died? You betcha.
You mother...
Mr. Crutch.
Dirty fat pig. Anyway, I can't really
This,
listen to much more of him, but
this stick writes me back, this Kreitz, Von fellow, whatever his name is. Hey, Daryl, I certainly didn't try to hoodwink you. I asked you outright and told you what my intentions were.
so
Also,
far,
I'm not asking you to take...
AltWorldly's been really quite cordial, over the top nice as far as I'm concerned with this guy. But anyway, he's conducting himself in a really orderly and professional fashion. And this guy comes back with...
Mr. Kreitz, you bet. So then this dipstick writes me back.
So this
Kreitz,
dipstick writes me
Von fellow, whatever his
back.
name is. Hey, Daryl, I certainly didn't try to hoodwink you.
You
I asked you outright and told you what my intentions were. Also, I'm not asking a JW to give me a platform. I'm asking a
You.
JW to come on mine. They're not coming on. You know JW on the face of this earth would come on your show. Because you're a moron. You're a disfellowship person. Amazingly, he goes,
Are you there to help them?
Conversation lined up with an active witness next week. There's a lie right there. No active witness would join an apostate. And I had
Well, they
JW
did.
join me in the chat during a live stream yesterday.
They
Bob
did.
Cock.
Fuck, yeah. I like the
Actually
way he
had
says it.
some really nice interactions with witnesses lately. The liar. You, on the other hand,
His personal
are everything
incredulity is off
witnesses
the
are
charts.
told not to be. What's that? The answers. I'm bitter, I'm cruel, I'm self-important, not an ounce of Christ-like love in you. I know it was real love when Christ called you a snake, a hypocrite, or a pig, or a dog. It was real love, wasn't it? You bet.
Anyway, it's basically the same old thing every video he does, and I just wanted to show you his determination of what another apostate biting the dust is. And it's him destroying the apostate in this video. Oh man, he has brought many laughs to me over the years, but yeah, he's just the saddest motherfucker. Really is. And I mean, the fact is that he is no doubt not a very likable person, and I would say that is the case in both the secular world and in his own little fucking world of the witnesses. That's sad. I mean, it just takes a little bit of adjustment, a little bit of counselling maybe to just understand that the world doesn't hate him, you know? And accept people and try to be kind when you can, and see how that doesn't change your motherfucking life. Anyway, so that's it from me. AltWorldly's still around, and wasn't about Lloyd Evans, and yeah, I'll be really keen to see if he does come out with anything regarding Lloyd the Elder's shenanigans, both back then and just recently. So anyway, yeah, way out there.
Good evening. My name is Daro Weilberg. I am a Jehovah's Witness in good standing. Now, if you prefer, I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses in good standing. Either statement is grammatically correct. I got raped by an elder. I got molested by an elder when I was a child.